The thing about building a company is that inevitably things go wrong and bad things happen. You don't want that to happen, you don't anticipate when that happens, but it is inevitable in the life cycle of any company. When that happens, the best way to react to that is to use it as a learning lab. Use it as an opportunity to call everybody together and really have a laboratory, have a workshop, have an understanding of how do we unpack what happened and why it all happened with no blame, but with an understanding of the systems that got us here. And then how do we think about how do you respond right now together? And then how do you move forward from there, both in terms of establishing maybe new procedures, establishing some new policies, some new even ways of thinking, some new operational tactics. But then also, and this is equally important, how does the company and the CEO and the team around him or her successfully move on emotionally, kind of create a new point of view, recognizing that that was in the past and there's the future to look to. You can't change the past, you can only change the future. So the best way to debrief any project, any bad thing that happened, any problem, is just to go down the tiers of why. And so you start with, okay, so let's assume that the project that you were working on is late. Let's assume it's a product release and that it is now definitely not going to make its deadline, and it's probably 3 or 6 months late. First of all, it's important just to create an environment where people can talk freely and not feel blamed, because we're just debriefing to understand what happened. So it's about understanding the structure of it, not looking to finger point. But the first question is why? So why was the release late? Well, engineering, for example, didn't deliver the code on time. Why didn't engineering deliver the code on time? Because they weren't given the specs early enough. Why weren't they given the specs early enough? Because product didn't get them to them early enough. Why didn't product get them to them early enough? Because product didn't understand from marketing the requirements early enough. So if you keep going down those and you understand why did marketing not get them early enough, it's because they didn't have a good plan to get the customer data they needed to. Then you can take a look at what went wrong here. Is it about we need to tighten up our process, which is very often true, especially with startups? Is it that we need to have a better time frame for deliverables, which is often very true when you're working on complicated multi-domain projects? Or did we just forecast incorrectly? Did we not take into account all the multiple steps that leads to the product release? And that's often very true as well. And maybe why didn't we take into account the multiple steps? Because there wasn't one person in charge. Great. So going forward, we know that we need to all take into account the multiple steps and declare one person the owner of the project overall. And let's try those two interventions, those two changes, and that's going to help us be more, have more excellence in operations.